Everybody, I got bad news. We've been canceled.
Fans are now asking for Family Guy to be canceled. And not because of any major scandal, they're just so tired of it. Hard to believe, considering this was once the show fans fought to bring back from cancellation. So what changed? How did Family Guy go from pulling 9.2 million viewers to barely scraping past 0.9? And why is this show, recently renewed, now one of the most criticized on TV? Let's rewind. When Family Guy debuted in 1999, it was a breakout hit. Its early seasons were fresh, fearless, and genuinely funny. Even with shows like South Park and The Simpsons dominating animation, Family Guy carved out its own lane. It was brash, smart, and bold enough to tackle topics most sitcoms wouldn't dare touch. From the pilot, it was clear this wasn't just another cartoon. Family Guy had its own voice. And yet, fans refused to let it die. DVD sales skyrocketed. Fox had no choice but to bring it back. And it worked. The early revival seasons, roughly 1 through 6, were gold. So what made it so special? For one, the pacing. Jokes hit fast and hard, but never completely derailed the story. The humor was layered.
It's really nice of you, Stewie.
Well, he's my brother. We've got to stick together, like that two-headed girl on TLC.
Okay, who wants to taste it and who wants to smell it?
Cultural references, random side gags, weird detours that somehow still made sense. It was absurd, but grounded in its own logic. Characters had personality. Peter was stupid but lovable. Lois had wit and warmth. Chris and Meg had unique quirks, but the real MVPs? Stewie and Brian. Stewie, the evil genius baby with a British accent and mommy issues, was an instant icon. Devious, theatrical, savage. Brian, the martini-drinking, novel-writing dog, gave the show a weird heart. Their duo brought both chaos and surprising emotional weight. And then there were the cutaway gags. Totally random, hilarious, original. The show could suddenly jump to Peter dressed as a taco being chased by wolves in France, and somehow it worked. These gags added flavor, context, and unpredictability. But something shifted. Around season 8 or 9, the tone started changing. Fans started noticing, and not in a good way. The jokes didn't just come fast anymore. They came at the cost of story. Instead of building to punchlines, Family Guy started tossing every gag imaginable into the blender. The result? 20 minutes of disconnected chaos. The beloved cutaways? Overused. Out of sync. Worse, pointless. What was once the show's biggest asset became its most annoying trait. You'd be mid-conversation in a scene and boom, a bizarre, irrelevant detour that hijacked the pacing. The show stopped being clever. It started being loud. And then came the character decay. Peter Griffin, once a goofy, harmless idiot, became straight-up deranged, violent, cruel, sociopathic even. Lois, the grounded, smart mom, she turned into Peter 2.0, erratic, chaotic, and often worse than her husband. Brian lost his charm. Once the intellectual voice of reason, he became a preachy, smug mess, a self-righteous hypocrite who talks down to everyone, while being the worst of the bunch. Even Stewie, the breakout star, lost his edge. The world domination arc? Gone. The mystery and villainy? Vanished. Now he's just confused. His identity blurred, jokes weaker, presence less impactful. Meg? Still a punching bag. But it's not even funny anymore. It's lazy, same gag every episode, rinse and repeat. And the side characters? Flat. Quagmire went from sleazy comic relief to full-blown creep. Joe? Just the loud guy in the wheelchair. Cleveland? Came back from his failed spin-off with zero development. And then, the biggest loss of all, the humor. Family Guy used to be edgy and intelligent, satirical, clever. Sure, it ruffled feathers, but it made a point. It had something to say. Now, it just shocks for attention. No nuance, no message, just cruelty disguised as comedy. Episodes like Screams of Silence try to tackle serious issues like domestic violence and completely miss the mark. Bleak, humorless, and deeply uncomfortable, it wasn't satire, it was just disturbing. Even when the show tries self-awareness, calling itself out, joking about its decline, it falls flat. Because self-awareness without change isn't clever, it's just sad. And that's where Family Guy is now. Predictable, hollow, repetitive. Same plot every week. Peter does something dumb. Lois yells. Stewie and Brian go on a weird tangent. Meg gets ignored. Nothing sticks. Nothing matters. It's sitcom purgatory. What was once a revolutionary animated show is now a shell of its former self. The edge is gone, the heart is missing, the jokes are tired, and the fans? They've had enough. Family Guy didn't just fall off. It crashed. Hard. And the worst part? It doesn't even seem to realize it. But if you want to see a real war, not just a cartoon downfall, check out our video on the insane casting battle between Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise for rising star Mikey Madison. It's Hollywood ego at its finest. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you want more unfiltered stories just like this.